Well, the title, Beyond Geldof, I think it's the most apt title I could ever come up with. I think it works on so many levels. It really creates a total resolution in terms of how to approach this problematic situation, you know? Because on the one hand, you don't want to be dismissive of the good intentions of a person. And on the other hand, you don't want to watch a disaster unfold because of lack of real, well-informed strategy, you know. So, so the question is, what's going to happen after Geldof? What has happened between the Geldof eras, from 1985 to 2000, you know? Then the follow-up of that, and then the follow-up of that. We saw so many things, you know. The Commission for Africa, Make Poverty History, Glen Eagles summit of the G8, or was it the G7? G7 Glen Eagles summit in 2005, and of course the concerts at Hyde Park. All of it skirted around some issues which are important to us as black people all over the world, but most especially the black youths in Africa and the black youths in the UK. So the question beyond Geldof is like, what part of our struggle did Geldof not understand? What was beyond him? And don't want to be dismissive of a noble venture, very noble venture, a very good intention, but analyzing the market economy and how it works, the free market economy and how it works, and the remedies that were put forward by Geldof and the Commission for Africa, and at the same time also the aspirations of NEPAD and how they were hoping to make some kind of breakthrough, which was actually the initial step, which was answered by the Commission for Africa, which was Tony Blair and Gordon Brown's thing, which was born at the Labour Party convention in 2002, I believe, not 2003, I can't remember, but it was immediately after the Iraq War, so it was a response, weapons of mass destruction were not found, and then Labour had to find some relevance, and they dipped into the bag and they also pulled out Africa, and what about Africa? Look at Africa, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, we didn't find the weapons of mass destruction, but look at Africa, Africa's suffering, let's go. And so to me, it was obvious that the right response to Africa should not have been within the political context, sorry about that, within the political context of the Labour Party. The right response to Africa should have been to the initiative put forward by NEPAD, to answer NEPAD according to that. So I did not feel that there was any harmonization between NEPAD's objectives and the Commission for Africa's objectives. So that's also a question to say, is that beyond Geldof too? Does he understand that? So being active in London at that time, busking, playing in the underground, but at the same time studying and networking and learning. And the 1990 Trust, which was established by Lee Jasper. I almost said Neil Jasper, forgive me, Lee. Lee Jasper, observing and actually experiencing us being sidelined on the question of Africa. It reflected the norm of marginalizing and sidelining black youths, black people in the UK. honest, to put it as bluntly as I can. And so that's the entire package there. Why do I have the king, King Charles? Um, as Prince Charles, he was really into causes that are relevant to all of us, the environment being one of them, and the encouragement of the youth through the Prince's Trust. And those are very noble things, just like what Geldof started out, that is also noble. So it aligns, and I believe there was a collaboration between the Prince's Trust and Geldof's concerts. So that makes sense. So to me, it was just a question of, okay, well, maybe the problem is the arena in which we would like to carry out our black rights and our African rights. Maybe it's not in this area, so let's just shift the whole thing and focus on Africa. So that was yet another confirmation for why the walk from Cape Town to Cairo was important. So we shifted the arena, and that's what I've been working on ever since. So what we want is to say, well, we can release music, we can write songs, we can have concerts, we can run media business, and we can employ our youths to do the exact same thing that USA for Africa did, and Feed the World did, and Live Aid and Live 8, all that organizing music on a philanthropic platform, and to achieve, what can we say, entrepreneurial goals as well for the youth, and training goals and all of that. So well, we can do it. Of course, that's what I was doing anyway. And I was busking and I was financing it myself, so I was doing it anyway. It was just like, well, let's make it bigger. Let's just make it bigger. I'd already busked and put youth to perform at the Astoria, the Mean Fiddler in London. I financed that by busking. Put youths on stage from Deptford, from all over. Some of them from East London as well. Youths were just cramming the place. They just wanted to be on stage in the West End, and I paid for that by busking. So I had the confidence and the strength, and we're doing it. That's the whole thing behind it. The aftermath beyond Geldof after those things is, where is he at now? Well, his companies are up there, the stock market, and that's good. That's well and good. He's made a career out of that, and I believe they're following the same format. They have some agricultural ventures, maybe coffee, I don't know, and all of that. And they are, I don't see it breaking the mold of what really confronts us, as black people, as the living in the legacy of slavery and colonialism. It doesn't break the mold. It's another venture. It is headed by a white man, and he's employing people. So what's new? It's always been like that. That's how it was in the plantations, So the ownership of the venture, that's what counts, and that's what the youths want. That's what the youths are looking for. That self-determination, and like, we own this, we run this, we administrate this. This is our Africa. These are our resources. These are our stadiums. These are our media houses. These are our publishing platforms. And that's what we're giving them. That's the whole essence of Beyond Geldof. And the platform that was given me to develop and grow was given to me by Lee Jasper. Well, Lester Holloway more likely. But it was established by Lee Jasper, which was the 1990 Trust. And having mentioned Lester, the last thing that the Prince did before he became king was to be the guest editor of The Voice newspaper, where Lester now is the editor. And The Voice came out of activism, so as a great gesture, it's a great gesture from the prince to have come and done that, and for Lester to let him do that. It's what we need. I mean, some radicals might not like it that way, might not see it that way, but you know, I mean, it's a step in the right direction if what we're talking about is really having that sovereignty and last word when it concerns our issues, our entrepreneurial ventures and all those things, you know. So that's basically that in a nutshell. Give thanks.